are. That
I know they are.
I'm all for the injuring, just not conceding. Sorry, Liverpool fans.
You're not sorry, are you?
No, I'm not. Fuck off. But you got to be neutral-ish, haven't you?
Let's try a bit. I mean, I think. Listen, we make no secret of the fact that we're not Liverpool's biggest fans, but are we fair? So I had to get that before it came over the edge. Then I could see I was pouring the beer and it was going over the edge, and I was like, right, I've got to make a decision. Do I continue with a statement or do I get it? And I was just like, to be fair.
Out of shot.
To be fair, I think we're very fair where Liverpool are concerned, and I don't think anyone's saying anything out of order when we say that they have been way below par this season, way below par. And we're not. We said it. We're not having this whole Van Dijk as a catalyst for it all. It's not helped. It doesn't help having your best centre back out, but it's not the reason why they've been. It's not the only reason they've been so bad this season.
No. And what do you
all
make
of their
of
players that were? Well, they've had a couple of cock-ups with Alisson, haven't they? So
yeah,
it's probably put a bit of a negative spin on his arrival and his performances. Yeah. The fact that they've not really performed very well, and he's had a couple of ding dongs with Alisson. So
exactly,
it's probably says a lot.
Speaking of the man, Van Dijk on the screen now. Should we sync up in a minute? Well, should we let it get to about 30 seconds and we'll go?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who it is that's able to sync, but as we discovered last time, I can't pause my stream. I don't know why.
Are we all on Now TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we're all on Now TV, we should be around the same point anyway. My place is just taking the knee now.
Yeah, same.
No, Virgil van Dijk on the screen for me. let me come out. Let me come out of it and see what it puts me on.
That's what I do. Like, sometimes you can't pause on Now TV. I just come out and come back in, and then it refreshes. So we've just kicked off now. So we are 0-0 first half. To everyone who has joined us today, apologies for all of the technical difficulties, such as telling you all that we're watching United and Everton. That happened a few weeks ago. That was 3-3, unfortunately. It should be updated now. So everyone should be clear in the world of social that we are watching Liverpool and Everton. So thank you for joining us. Give us a follow at WeAre4M1T if you are watching this with us today. We're across all the social media channels. And we are 34 seconds in now, corner to Everton.
Yeah, it should be interesting today. The set pieces could really be an opportunity for Everton to sort of get the big players forward, I reckon. Keane has been a bit of a nightmare in opposition penalty areas this season already. So I'm expecting if he gets a bit of space, then he could be in, especially your new lad as well that you bought from Norwich. Ben Godfrey, that's the fella. Yeah, he's a big unit as well, isn't he? So expect.
I'm pretty sure Mina's out today. You know.
Yeah,
I think he's got an Achilles injury, hasn't he?
That's an unfortunate miss, I think, for Everton. Or well, maybe not. I think could he be a bit of a liability sometimes? Maybe he tries to play out of the box, play out of his own area a bit too often. But this setup, as we were saying before the game, really gives Everton a chance to try and get their fullbacks bombing forward with the comfort of having that three at the back, sort of to protect them. So I think it's going to be a bit of cat and mouse today. So we'll see what happens.
I wonder what our viewers think about Mina. Like those that have seen him quite a bit this season, what do they think? Because I'm a bit, I'm unsure. I still haven't made my mind up about Mina. He poses a massive aerial threat. He gets some good goals for us, off the corners. But defensive-wise, he goes through the motions. He's, he has a couple of good games, and he'll have a dire Straits game, and sort of like one bad game to every two good games. And in the Premier League, when you're pushing for Europe, that's not what you want, is it? You look at City, John Stones. I know he went through a blip and it got, it was in the headlines all the time, wasn't it? But he's back now.
Fucking Prue, Richarlison's son.
I'm well behind, mate.
I'm about 30 seconds behind,
yeah. Yeah, it's 1-0.
It's 1-0, 2 minutes on the clock.
Lovely
I
finish.
thought he might have looked offside.
Whoa, you little beauty.
Oh, it's tight. He might give you a VAR on it.
No, well on.
That's an absolute beautiful goal.
well on.
Pelting start that.
That is a great pass.
That's what you needed, I think.
And you know what? Before he scored, I was just about to sort of start asking you, like, what do you make of this start from Everton? Like, they've definitely come out of the blocks raring to go here.
Oh, that is a pass.
Realised that Liverpool could be got at here, and they've gone at them straight away. And there you have it. They're 1-0 up already.
Oh, it's that as well. That Kabak got skinned as well. We've just been saying, he's had a couple of ding dongs already. That was one.
Yeah, brilliant finish. Now it's important to see how Liverpool are going to react to this. Are they going to come out fighting, and will that leave them more exposed at the back? This kind of plays perfectly into Everton's hands here. They've got the wide players to really press on, and I don't know, put some pressure on this Liverpool back four. So this could even play further into Everton's hands here if Liverpool are now going to try and press for an equaliser. So it could be really interesting to see how this ends up.
This is exactly what this game needed, because I think if Liverpool would have struck first, you might have seen Everton go into the shell a little bit. But this is what we need now, because Liverpool have got to push out. And at the back, they are not great. They are not great, especially with Kabak. Every single game I've seen so far from him, he's been poor.
Yeah, he looks shaky, doesn't he? He don't look like he's only come in January, February, hasn't he? You know, he doesn't seem to have picked the speed of the game up or anything like that at the minute. But I suppose, what is he, 20 years old, is he?
Yeah, he's only young.
Yeah. There's plenty of time for him.
Yeah, he's been thrown into the first team because of obviously injuries and stuff. But I don't know. You got Henderson playing next to him as well, who's obviously not a natural centre back. Obviously, it is causing issues for them at the minute. But fair dues to Everton. They started off well.
It'd be interesting to. I mean, I was going to say it'd be interesting if there's any Liverpool fans watching us, but they definitely fucking aren't watching us, are they? Man United and Everton fan podcast.
Not the way not the way I did pigeon fucking impressions a minute ago, they're not.
It would be interesting to hear what their thoughts are, probably before and after this game. I haven't seen many Liverpool fans really talking about the game or giving their thoughts. I don't know if there's probably a mixture of them saying that they're overconfident, or if there really is some of them thinking, do you know what, we are at risk today. And Everton have proved it to be right, that they should be possibly a bit wary. So what a start! Brilliant.
Hey Lee, you want to join my works chat then, because they're all very confident that they're winning this today. Very confident, yeah. And I chipped in. It was a little bit of a wind-up comment, to be honest, but none of them baited. They're good at avoiding the bait anyway. But Scouse is always well, apart from the ones on Twitter. But the ones in the group chat, I was saying, Brighton, Burnley.
Yeah.
You've just been beaten by City, which is, everyone, like I said, everyone gets beat by City at the moment, don't they? But if Brighton and Burnley, I'm going to draw on those two, because really Liverpool should be beating those two, and they would have done the last two seasons comfortably, probably got the 6 points off them. But if they're confident that they're going to thrash us today, they shouldn't be, because their results have been woeful recently, and our away form, like I said, is brilliant. So 1-0 up already. If we can press for a second, I don't want us sitting back on this, not one bit.
Yeah, it's one of those games where you can't sort of rest on a 1-0, especially after scoring so early on. If anything, you've scored too early, as some people say. So
those people are wrong. Those people are wrong in a Merseyside derby.
Love it.
But yeah, we'll see. That should be a yellow card. That.
It's been a few challenges flying in here. He's been a bit. It's simmering. You can see it already.
That's excellent, because I've got a yellow cards bet on.
Hey, it's a Merseyside derby. There's always at least one red as well. So do a red card bet. Yeah, that was a dirty challenge. That didn't see yellow though, because it's his first, isn't it? Maybe one more like that, and I can see him getting booked. Frustrated, I think.
Yeah.
Trying to take the goal scorer out. To be fair, He didn't actually tackle him. It was just more like a collision of bodies, wasn't it? Because Richarlison was running into him. Yeah. It didn't warrant a booking actually on second viewing at that.
So one thing I'm going to suggest, lads, because obviously it seems that me and Collins are quite far ahead of Josh Dale. Collins, we need to have a pact not to react before Josh does, considering it's his derby. So I'll stay quiet. I promise.
I can get on board with that. I can get well on board with that.
I appreciate that, boys. I do appreciate that.
To be honest, I didn't expect you to score early, so
no, you didn't have opportunity to discuss a pack, did you?
No, not yet.
I said it to we were talking in the group chat the other day about what's his name, that Arsenal clown that's in America. Is it Troops?
Yeah.
The way he reacts to stuff is just, I mean, it's either he's just got an issue or he's a knobhead or he's doing it just for attention online. But we don't react to goals like that. I don't like the screaming and the shouting and stuff. But sometimes when the emotion takes over you, like that Richarlison one was just pure emotion. 2 minutes into a game and he slides it home like that. You got to get the flaps out.
I'm glad you clarified on what you meant by that then.
Oh yeah, if I just said you've got to get the flaps out and then look to the camera like
this. Yeah, we'd have GM police knocking on the door. But no, I think this is a great start by Everton. But Liverpool is starting to look like they're controlling it a little bit more now. I just think Everton really need to be careful not to sit back too much and not to rest on the laurel of a 1-0, if that makes sense. So hopefully we'll see a couple of breakaway goals even. That'd be nice. But yeah, keep this and go in at half-time up, and then you're laughing, I reckon.
You've got the pace to do it. You've got the pace to it, Liverpool on the counter. I
apologise if you see my cat wandering across my screen as well.
Might get us a few more followers.
Yeah. Start hashtagging cats.
It's not going to harm it, is it?
What have you made of the first 10, Dale?
Well, you're starting to see Liverpool play a bit of keep ball now, which is kind of how you're probably going to see the rest of the game. Liverpool are probably going to have more of the ball, but it's what they're going to do with it at the minute. They're not creating anything at the moment, but we're only 10 minutes in, aren't we? So
early days, yeah.
Early days, yeah. But yeah, hopefully Everton can soak up this little bit of pressure that they're trying to create, and let's say hopefully get at another breakaway goal, or extend the lead, go 2-0.
So
go on,
Josh.
They always say you're most vulnerable when you've just scored, don't you? So it's natural that you're going to take a little bit of pressure after scoring a goal. We seem to be dealing with it from what I can see, which is great, because we've been prone to conceding goals pretty quickly after scoring in the past in Merseyside derbies. So yeah, I think if we can weather the storm here and then just start to try and control the pace of the game again.
Yeah, I think Richarlison might be a big player today for you. If he can hold that ball up, when you're doing that long ball, or you're trying to get in behind. If Richarlison could try and hold that ball up, try and get a bit of support as well, could be a big player today.
So I was looking before the kickoff today, and obviously speculating like we do, or imagine if Liverpool lost today. And I was looking at the table and what the implications on the table would be. Now, interestingly, there are 3 teams below Liverpool, if this ends as it is now, that have a game in hand or 2 games in hand over Liverpool that would put them above them if they were to win those games in hand. So realistically, if the teams such as Spurs and every single Premier League football team that's ever existed has just completely escaped my mind now. But basically all the teams below Liverpool that have games in hand win them. Liverpool could, with equal games played, slip down to 9th in the table. Now, could you have seen that happening maybe October, November last year?
It's been a mental season though, hasn't it? It's been a mental season. Like City went down to like 13th at one point, didn't they?
Yeah.
And now look at him. It's actually a bit anticlimactic what's happening with City, because it was looking like it was going to be 4 or 5 teams involved potentially in a title race, and now it's just City. and the rest of us are trying to be the best of the rest. To which, the way the season's going, I think United have got enough consistency about them at least we should be a shoo-in for second. I'd be disappointed if we didn't finish second.
Yeah.
On the topic of Liverpool, though, I mean, top four. I think if Everton come here and do a result today and get a result today, and they can win that game in hand, I think Everton become the favourites to grab that fourth spot. I really do.
Yeah, I get what you're saying about the season itself. As I was watching the West Brom game earlier, I noticed that even with the point for West Brom, they're still, I think it was 11 points behind safety or 9 points behind safety.
Cool.
And it almost seems like relegation's done and dusted. The winner of the league is done and dusted. So now all we've got to play for is top four, which is kind of shit, really, considering that the season started so well. And it could have been anyone. You had Everton up there, you had fucking Villa up there, like Leicester were up there still. I mean, we still are up there, but City are just running away with it at the moment. And when you watch the fact that we lose points like the draw against Everton, losing to Sheffield, drawing against West Brom, when you take all those into account, like City deserve it when they're winning as many as they are, and we don't deserve to be like in the title race when we're getting those kind of results, which is frustrating because this could have been like our real opportunity for us with Liverpool being so under par. Because next year it probably depends if they lose a lot of their best players. Does Klopp stay? I don't know. For the big surge in viewers that just came on as I said that, I'm not in any way suggesting people may have just, the first thing that a load of our viewers may have heard then is, does Klopp stay? Whilst Everton are 1-0 up at Anfield. I'm not suggesting they're going to sack him, don't worry. What I am suggesting is, in the summer, Zinedine Zidane's almost surely leaving Real Madrid, and the natural progression for Klopp is either the Germany national team manager or Real Madrid. So can they keep this set of players together to sort of go at it again next year? I mean, they kind of won everything that they wanted to in this journey. They got the Champions League win. They got the Premier League win for the first time in 30 years. So what more is there to do for them? And there may be players in that team now like Mane or Salah, Van Dijk even, that may think, do you know what? There's a rebuild going on over in Spain at Barcelona. There's teams like that could be paying me big wages to go and play for a team that I've probably grown up supporting, especially the Dutch connection for Van Dijk going to Barca. Salah looks nailed on for one of those clubs. Mane looks nailed on for one of those clubs. So can this team stay together?
Well,
Matty Christie has just messaged him. He won't leave until 2025. He won't get sacked. He's done way too much. Again, what do you boys think of that?
He's not going to get sacked. He's not going to get sacked. There's not. I mean, unless they went on a fucking downward trajectory all the way down the table, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to get called into question. He's done too much for the club. Do I think he'd walk though? Yeah, 100% think he'd walk. 100% think he'd walk. There's only so much you can do when you've been on top for so long. Klopp will feel like they've been for the last 2 seasons. They had the Champions League success and then they had the Premier League success. When you've been on top like that and then you nosedive like they're doing now, unless they can get some sort of recovery going, good luck. Good luck keeping Klopp. Because why would he stay? Why would he stay? I know he loves the club, and I know there's a loyalty there. But I mean, if someone like a Real Madrid comes along, you can't say no. You can't say no to Real Madrid. And we're saying this as United fans. Look at players we've had over the years. As soon as Madrid came calling, Bex was going. As soon as Madrid came calling, Van Nistelrooy was going. As soon as Madrid came calling, Ronaldo was going. They're the biggest club in the world.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. So it depends. I mean, you might have loyalty, but how much loyalty have you got, especially when the situation's not going the way it has been for the past 24 months?
Yeah. I worry more about them losing players than losing Klopp. I worry more about Salah or Mane getting snatched away by the likes of Real Madrid than Klopp. But then the knock-on effect of that is, consequently, if they go, Liverpool aren't the same side, and it all just sort of falls apart what Klopp built. Because he's never going to be able to replace those types of players. They're sort of like 1 in a million types of players. The absolute cream at the top. They're the best players in the world. You can't replace them.
Do you think that that's kind of compounded by the fact that they didn't really splash out a great deal on a replacement centre back, and it does seem like they are. Well, I say wary to spend the money. They spent the money on Van Dijk and Alisson when they needed them. Fair enough. They were selling. They were using the money that they got from the sale of Coutinho. But maybe they'll get money from the sale of, I don't know, Van Dijk or Mane or Salah. So would they reinvest that money and then rebuild another team with Klopp in charge? That surely is an entertaining prospect for him. Because he'll want to emulate the likes of the great Premier League managers who did win multiple Premier League titles. He's a winner. He won't want to just settle on one. Surely, you know what he's like.
Yeah.
I think as well with the big players he's got there, like your Salah, Mane, Van Dijk, Robertson, etc. I mean, if Klopp stays another season or two or whatever, can Klopp convince those players, to go again for another season? Can you motivate them again to look? We've just lost our Premier League title. Can he motivate them to go? Look, let's do it one more time. With those players, or like I say, do those sort of players go? Ooh, Henderson then. Do those sort of players then go? No, I've done it in England now. Do you go to your Real Madrid, your Barcelona's, a different league and try your hand there? But it's a good save that as well. Actually,
Pickford. Very good save. Yeah.
This is the frustrating thing with Pickford. He is just a fucking calamitous at times. He really is. But when he wants to be on, he can be one of the best in the world.
That was a shot draw.
Oh, he's a shot stopper. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's like Ben Foster for us. And he didn't drop as many clangers, obviously, but when Ben Foster was at United, he was a fantastic shot stopper. Unreal. But there's just other areas of his game that were...
There's more to it, isn't there? And, yeah.
But you see the resurgence of keepers like Ederson and Alisson that prove that there's much more to the game. Obviously, Boyd from Neuer and what he transformed as being like the sweeper keeper almost. And there are a lot of keepers that maybe feel like they have to play like that when they don't necessarily need to. And I think that players like Pickford, he gets too hot-headed. He almost gets too emotionally involved in the play.
You don't need to.
It affects him too much.
He doesn't need to,
to keep
don't let him. We're putting a bit of pressure on now, Liverpool.
Sometimes
they're putting a lot of pressure on us.
Decision making, Pickford as well. Like I say, as good as he is, a shot stopper at times, it's like Lee said, emotionally he probably get far too involved, and as a result of that, you can make a harsh decision or two that can cost you a game. But just as I'm saying this now, Liverpool are now sort of threatening here. Looks like they're trying to, they're close to getting a goal back here, but.
So this is one thing that's interesting for me. So I always think like when a team is looking ominous like this and they're proper pressing on goal and they're putting all the pressure on, what does a team like Everton here or any team in this situation need to do to sort of quell this attack? Like,
get the fucking ball.
Stop sitting back. Stop being so defensive minded. To get a goal in the third minute. You're not going to be able to sit down. I know Liverpool are a bit toothless at the moment, which sounds mental because I'm pretty sure Mo Salah's still the top scorer in the league.
Yeah,
but they are a bit toothless at the moment. They've got to score one. Surely, you can always pretty much bank on it. Yeah, I know. Sorry, mate. But you can always pretty much be confident that Liverpool are going to score at least one. You can't sit behind the ball for 90 minutes. You can't do it.
Well, it's just there. Rodriguez has just got the ball. He's just trying to play Richarlison down the wing there on the left, and he's Trent's just come in and took the ball straight away. It's like try and get the ball, or try and keep the ball for string of 5-10 passes together. Try and get the team sort of up the field again. But
you've got to try and slow the tempo down, haven't you, and control it a bit more. Take the bite out of it. If you just keep hoofing it up the pitch and letting them come back onto you, then it'll be inevitable. They're going to score eventually. So I do think that a lot when it comes to.
That's a challenge. Well then.
Yeah,
sorry, just saw Davies go through him then, and I was a bit worried, but it was a good challenge.
He's one of the players I need on my yellow cards bet. So anyway, I think when I watch teams like City, especially, and they look ominous about 90% of the games that they play. How do you defend against that? Like, you can't just sit and wait, can you? You've got to do something about it, and this is what Everton need to do here, and just get the ball, calm it down a bit, pass it around. Like, Pickford's going to hoof this up the pitch now. What's that going to achieve? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Just keep it for a bit.
Yeah, the issue is every time we get the ball, like with the James Rodriguez passing it up to Richarlison, it's the balance between counter-attacking football and just slowing down the play and starting to control it a little bit, stringing some passes together. Like Dale said, do you go for the counter-attack or do you string the passes together? That's the issue, because we could catch them on the counter attack, and then we could be eating our words about stringing it together.
Stop it!
Beautiful.
Stop that right now.
So, looking at the game now and the way that it's sort of ebbing and flowing a little bit, Liverpool are getting more and more sort of possession of the ball higher up the pitch. What do you think Liverpool need to do now to try and get themselves sort of back into it? And I wouldn't say back into it, but get themselves an equaliser.
Stop being so wank and put the ball in the back of the net. Just too. I don't know what's. I mean, Firmino's Firmino, and he's always going to be Firmino, no matter what the Scousers want to say. But Mane and Salah, I don't know what's wrong with him. I really don't know what's wrong with him. And it just goes to show you, maybe when confidence is just you're in a bit of a middle ground with confidence a little bit. I don't know. Like, maybe there is a lot to be said with strikers, and they're all based on confidence. I don't know. Like, is that a thing?
Ooh, Henderson hamstring looks like.
Oh no! Oh no!
That's one less defender.
Oh no! What's happened there? Has he been clattered, or has he just pulled up?
They'll be sending Decore to jail now for that.
Oh no! He's pulled. That's not a good fucking.
Yeah, he's pulled it. He's gone down himself.
Even Klopp's looking on there, thinking,
"Yeah,
shit," because he is one of the first names on the team sheet for them.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the first name on the team sheet.
Yeah. And he knows it as well. He's got his head in his hands. He knows his hamstring.
Yeah, it's just gone down, hasn't he? Yeah.
He's just run his hamstring into that, though. There was nothing there from Decore. Yeah. Unless Liverpool fans want to try and find something, maybe touched him on his wrist or something like that.
Yeah, Danny's just come in there. If this is Hendo's hamstring, Liverpool's season is fully over, and I can't disagree with that. Do you know what? And this trying to suppress the Man United in me as much as possible. It is a sad end for their season. Like, I never want to see players get injured or sort of like take. I never like to see a team fully affected by all these injuries, because it's not good for the game. Like, football will be better when players like Van Dijk are at their best and stuff. Like, they just will. And Henderson, fair fucking play to him. He has become a world-class player from coming from Sunderland, going into Liverpool and reinventing himself. And I don't think that the words world-class are wasted on Henderson. He's won the Champions League and the Premier League with Liverpool as being that player who's the captain of the team. Like, you can't sort of knock him for that. So if this is the sort of like him out for maybe a few weeks, then it could be the end of Liverpool's seasons, because he is such an important player for them, and they're already so far down in terms of. I mean, he's holding his groin there actually, so it looks like
he's holding his groin.
Yeah,
I don't want him injured because I'm worried about England more than anything.
Exactly.
Liverpool's season's already over, in my opinion. Before Henderson, like, City are just too far ahead of anyone now for anybody else to win that table. So Henderson will be hoping hoping to get fit for England if this is a but it doesn't seem
he's carrying on.
He's on the sideline, isn't he? So
he's carrying on.
He's just come back on. Yeah, he's like he'll have to be stretchered off before he goes off with an injury like that. So he could be doing himself more damage, but it is the derby. So
I'm happy about that because the way he pulled up then was
it didn't look good, that did it?
Yeah, you said it perfectly. Like I know, free United fans are Evertonian, but you don't want to see players. Yeah, you don't want to see players go down like that.
Like I say, you always want to see the best players play, don't you? It's one of them. You don't like seeing these sort of top players get injured and stuff. You always want to see the best players play every game.
No, Henderson's done.
Is he?
Yeah, he's done.
It must be bad for him to turn around and say it's time to come off. Good on him. You know what? Don't ruin. Don't cause the injury to be worse. Get yourself off. Get fit and then get back as soon as possible. You've already got enough injury woes in the squad. No need for one more. And he is vital to that squad.
Yeah. It's sad. I mean, put away the England allegiances. It's just sad. You don't want to see players like Henderson go off. And I think you said it perfect. Listen, Henderson still has a lot of people that slate him. And about 12 months ago, I was one of the people that was still like, I just don't get it with Henderson. Like, it's a bit like James Corden. Some people love James Corden. Some people hate him. Some people love Jordan Henderson. Some people hate him. I just thought he was shite. I really did. But when he got injured last season for Liverpool, and then they started to falter and fall apart, that's when I realised. I thought, maybe he's more important. He's better than we think he is. I think he's class in the same sense that Keano was class for United. Just a really...
No, sorry, I'm talking about a tackle. It was given a foul, but it wasn't.
No, I saw the same thing. But it was a good tackle.
That's a great tackle. The referees give a freaking free kick.
World class is thrown. I will agree. I think world class is thrown around.
For the Mason Holtgate tackle. What's he giving a free kick?
What's he giving a free kick for that for?
I don't know.
That's a great tackle.
That is a great tackle.
And you know what? You got VAR. You got VAR. If you're unsure about it, fucking check it.
That's a fantastic.
Just for that,
they better not fucking score from this. Obviously, you boys are slightly ahead, but
I think it's a bit too far out. It's windy though.
No, it's not. Saturday.
No.
All the watchers drop off.
Yeah.
Oh, run it now, boys! Oh, the jokes are starting coming out. Come on.
Don't make noises like that, lad. I thought that equalised. You wouldn't get that excited for a Liverpool goal.
No, of course I wouldn't. I was just going to say before, I do think world class is a phrase that's thrown out an awful lot, like for no good reason whatsoever. But at the same time, I don't think enough players are considered in that bracket, because I think what we consider as world class is being Lionel Messi or being Ronaldo and scoring an amazing 30-yard goal or going on a 50-yard run and scoring an absolute worldie. We base it off that too much. We don't see enough of Cannavaro winning the Ballon d'Or anymore just for being an absolutely top-class defender. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, so I mean... Messi and Ronaldo, I don't think are comparable to anyone because it's Messi and Ronaldo. So is it fair to say that Messi and Ronaldo are Messi and Ronaldo level and then there's world class just below them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect to say. That's based on my pun, that. Sorry, darling. I apologise. No more jokes, no more dad jokes for the rest of the podcast.
Did somebody say in the chat the other day, though, that we're now looking at the Haaland Mbappe era of football?
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's your next level after Ronaldo and Messi, isn't it? And I think on his day, Kevin De Bruyne and even Eden Hazard, not at Real Madrid, I'm talking the Chelsea Eden Hazard, they can reach Mane, Salah. That's your sort of player that fall under the Messi-Ronaldo category. But when... Obviously, Ronaldo and Messi aren't going to be around for much longer, are they? So, we'll be calling Mbappe, sort of like the best in the world in a couple of years. He is already right at the top. He proved that against Barca the other day, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, what a save!
What a save!
Sorry, I
What
forgot
a
I wasn't
save
going to
that
say
is.
anything. But
Would he have done? Would Mbappe have done anything against the Barca under Pep Guardiola, or even Luis
No.
Enrique, Tito Villanova? Would he have been able to do it against that same Barca squad? Oh my God, that was a
Save.
great save.
no, I don't think so because they've got good defenders.
What a ball as well!
Yeah,
What
a
an
ball.
absolute ball that was.
Was that Seamus Coleman?
Yeah.
Oh my
What's he doing there?
word.
Got nosebleed.
What's he doing there?
Oh, bullet header as well.
Dominic Coleman-Lewin just fucking flying into the box there.
60 grand, Seamus Coleman.
Do you know what though? Going back to what you're saying, Josh, I think that with Barca of Pep's era, you had fucking Abadal and Dani Alves as the fullbacks.
You had to slip Abadal in there, didn't you?
I love him. I've always loved Eric Abadal. He's one of my favourite players and one of my favourite ever moments of TV. I know what you're going to say.
I've just seen that Decore flick, and I just had visions of. Do you remember that Rivaldo goal? Where yeah. Oh God, it was just unreal that flick. I thought he was going to hit it sweet. Oh.
I reacted the same way, and I thought he was going to Dele Alli it. I thought he was going to fucking Crystal Palace it over the top of his head and just fucking let fly. No.
I tell you what, Everton seems to have steadied the ship though. The last 10 minutes or so, but you know, after Liverpool had that little period then, like 10-15 minutes, but Everton seem to have got a bit more of the ball and starting to create some more chances again.
They're back on the front foot a bit,
yeah.
What do you boys make of Curtis Jones?
Sorry, just seen that challenge through Alisson.
Do you know what? I'm going to be fair to because Curtis Jones and Nat Phillips, who came on for Henderson as well, they've caught a bit of grief, I think, just because of what's been going on Liverpool this season. Do I think they are generational talents? No, I don't at all. But do I think they're very, very, very good young players? Yeah, I do. I think they more, even with the injuries that they've got, I think they more than warrant their place in the at least in the squad or on the 18, like on the bench. They've both done great. I mean, Curtis Jones especially, he's had some great performances this season.
Going back to what you're saying there and referring to generational talent, that's a phrase I see launched around football Twitter too often. Who is a generational talent? Mbappe and who?
Mbappe and Haaland are generational talents.
The talent that would only come once in a generation is what I'm presuming it means.
Yeah, that's all it can mean, really. I mean, am I mistaken with that? Should it mean something else?
You must be right, but I mean, what does that even mean, though? Really, I just think it's one of the. Oh my God, he just twatted him. I don't know. I just one of those things for me where it's just like it's just another way of saying that they're a good young player. Like Greenwood, a generational talent.
I just think it's levels. I think it's levels. Like who's on a level right now, in terms of ability, with Mbappe and Haaland.
Foden.
Probably Phil Foden. And do you know what? I don't think that the amount of goals that they score should count in this question, because otherwise you would say a defender would never be a generational talent. I think that Upamecano could be in that category. Because why wouldn't you be?
That's a sore note for you, isn't it?
At least it's on Cooler Valley.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Danny's just done me there in the group chat.
What's he said?
Does generational talent mean a talent that comes once in a generation? A quote for the ages.
For the people that are watching right now, something that you need to know about Lee, right? He a very intelligent man, Lee, but sometimes he comes out with some right corkers. Me, Lee, and Joshua were having continental breakfast once in Germany many a moon ago.
No,
and Lee come out, but
we were on a metro.
Anyway.
We were on a metro in Munich. Yeah,
I thought it was over. Breakfast.
I remember exactly where we were. We were on the metro.
And we're all hanging because we're at Oktoberfest. And Lee just comes out of a line. You know when you're like zoning in and out of conversation because you just feel like shit? And Lee just turns around and goes, I mean, why do it when you can just do it? And me and Josh looked at each other like...
Quote of the millennia.
Deep. I mean, that's real deep, that, Lee.
I think I had a point in my head, and then I got into the point, and then I couldn't be asked because I was hungover. So it's just like, why do it when you can just do it?
Do it.
Do it. Fuck it, just do it.
Unbelievable. People who are tuning in right now, give us a follow at WeAre4M1T on social and pop your comments below. We are just talking about the game. We are 7 minutes away from half time. It is 1-0 to Everton. Both teams have had the chances. Everton coming back into the game a little bit more now. But if you're watching, pop us a comment below. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us your thoughts on the game. Tell us your thoughts on us.
Oh, that is brilliant from Tom Davies.
It is. He's had a good game, Tom Davies.
Yeah, he's been really good. Some of the tackles he's put in have been awesome.
Oh, that is not good from Mason Holgate, though. Get rid. Sorry. I'm obviously like 10, 15 seconds behind you guys. You must be seeing some of this defending and thinking, it's like watching United.
It's really weird. It's like there's no sort of flow or structure to the game. It's just like, right, they're attacking for a bit, and then that's how it's going. And now someone's making a defensive error, and then Everton have a chance. There's no like flow to it. Yeah. It's almost like all tactics and sort of play has gone out of the game, and it's just everyone's kicking the footy around as much as possible. There's no like strategy to it. Everyone's just going a bit mad. It's like in the playground when you're in school and everyone's trying to like kick the same ball at once. That's what I was trying to do anyway. I wasn't very good at football.
Do you know what? When we think of football in school, in high school, right? I mean, how fucking stupid was it? You just get on we had massive tennis courts in school, and it was literally like 45 versus 45. How the fuck are you meant to do anything in a game of football like that? It's just people running into each other. Yeah. What's the point? What's the point?
Yeah, I was shit at football. I used to like slide in at people's legs.
Question for Josh. Managerial genius sticking in a true Evertonian for the derby. Someone who isn't scared of getting stuck in and leaving one in a player when needed. What's your thoughts, man?
I'm a big fan of Everton through the ages doing this. As many Evertonians in the squad as possible, please. Tom Davies is blue through and through. He might not be the best player in the squad. You know, on other podcasts we've slated him, and I'm the worst culprit for that. But he certainly leaves his mark when he goes in for a tackle. Oh, yeah. And I do love an Evertonian in the squad, just so that you know they understand the passion of the derby, and they're going to put 110% into it. Even if that 110% isn't the best quality, you just know that they're going to leave their mark. And he is one of those players. This is why I used to absolutely love Leighton Baines being in the squad, because he understood the derby. He's a Scouser himself. Jamie Carragher, I know he's a boyhood Evertonian, but when he was in that derby, he put his heart and soul into that shirt for Liverpool. And he always, he was always a bane for us to deal with. Steven Gerrard's another one. That's why you need to have a couple of Scousers in your squad for the Merseyside derby. I can't imagine that there are too many in the. If you were to look at, say, the Chelsea-Arsenal derby, you don't really look at this. Yeah.
Do you know what? Is this really bad to admit? But when teams are like London derbies and stuff, because London's so big and there's so many teams.
There's so many of them.
I just don't get it. Like I know Spurs and Arsenal's a big one because it's the North London derby. But what other derbies are there? I mean, Chelsea and Fulham's supposed to be one of it.
Oh yeah, their stadiums are walking distance away from each other, like 5 minutes walk.
But I don't understand, like, and sometimes they compare. Like I've seen fans on Twitter and all sorts saying that, oh yeah, Spurs and Arsenal's just as big as like United and Liverpool for me. It's not though, is it? It's just not. It's just not. It's not as big as Everton. Everton and Liverpool's a massive game. City and United's a massive game. Would you put Spurs and Arsenal on that? I mean, maybe. I don't know. There has been some animosity over the years, hasn't there?
I think of all the London derbies, that's the biggest derby out of all of them for me. The North London derby.
That's the one that stands out for me because Spurs and Arsenal are massive. I mean, apart from Chelsea.
They're both shit.
Only with David Luiz in the squad.
Hey, listen, I'm going on 2 Up Top tomorrow night for their sort of post game review of all the games of the weekend. And if Gav is watching this right now, he's going to have my guts for garters for that, mate. Cheers, because he's a massive gunner. So, Gav Mack, if you are watching, I'm sorry, mate. Shout out to 2 Up Top, by the way. If you're following us, definitely follow 2 Up Top. They're class.
Yeah, good lads.
I'm hoping that we're going to have a Tyneside derby in the Premier League in the future. If we could just get Sunderland to come back up the ranks and get back into the Prem, that'd be great, because that's one that I miss.
Yeah, it was a good one, that. Sunderland and Middlesbrough. That's more likely to happen sooner than Sunderland, isn't it? But yeah,
I cannot stand Middlesbrough, mate. Fuck off. Continue.
They've let me down so many times on Acker's Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
They are on the shit list.
They let me down today. The shite, and they're fucking away at Reading, and 2-0 up they were after like 10 minutes. I was like, oh, fuck off. Shit.
I hate when an Acker dies so early.
Yeah.
Can we just have a quick discussion about teams that let us down on Ackers? Because I think we've all probably got a little list, haven't we?
Millwall are one of mine.
Stoke City.
Millwall, fucking Bristol City always used to let me down for some reason.
Oh, mate.
I don't know why.
Portsmouth always let me down. Portsmouth, a team that I expect to obliterate anybody in their league. They always seem to draw or lose.
Have you got the old version of Portsmouth in your head, though?
No, because I think Portsmouth are one of the better teams in that league. I think they're in League One now, and they usually end up in the top 6 of that league. So I expect them to be one of the dominant forces. But whenever I put money on them, they're not. Sunderland are another one. Maybe.
Do you know my team and teams? Anyone involved in the early kickoffs? They were
It's every time, isn't it? It's every time. You could literally have United against Crawley at Old Trafford and be thinking that is a fucking banker all day, and it'll end up 1-1. Yeah. It's bound to be. If there's an early kickoff this season, Real Madrid and Barcelona. Do not bet on Real Madrid and Barcelona this season.
No.
Over 1.5 is probably your safest bet there.
Yeah. Over fucking 0.5, mate.
Yeah.
Just someone score, please. Make it come in.
Double chance.
I went through a period where I was putting 20 games on double chance, and like 19 were coming in, and then one was letting me down, and I was just like, it's shit. And all I was going to win was like £4.
Ooh, Kabak, that's one of my yellow cards, I think.
Yeah, he's just picked up.
On Coleman. Yeah.
So I've got Kabak. Henderson's gone off injured.
So does that void it?
Fuck off.
Does that void it?
What did I look? I was in my head. I was on for it then. Oh, right. I'm pissed off now.
You better put in another one on at half time then, just to.
There's only 3 of us for the second half. Lazy's going to fuck off now. His bet's over.
I can't believe it. Honestly, do you want to know who else I had along with him? Tom Davis, Kabak, Henderson, and Keane.
Every single one of them is going to come in now.
I know. Keane's not really done much yet, but Tom Davis has been throwing himself into challenges. Henderson never gets cards, though, does he? So that's probably why the price was so high. It was 450 to 1.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, stop it. Henderson should get a booking just for having a hamstring made of quavers.
It was his groin, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. He looked weird because he pulled up and he looked like he was grabbing his hamstring, and then he went round to the front. So I don't know what's gone on there.
Do you know what? Everton are playing really well at the minute. Half time's going to come at the wrong time for Everton.
They look solid. They look really solid, Everton.
You know what, though? We obviously got the equaliser against City, and we were playing on a level with them first half. They were the better side up until we got the equaliser, and then we were playing on a level with them for a short period of time. Half time came, and then they battered us second half. So I'm worried that you might be right there, that the half time's going to come too early for us. If we could just get a second goal before half time,
that'd be the dream.
I'll put it this way: from what I've seen so far, Liverpool have been in the ascendancy for a good portion of the first half, but I've not seen a clear-cut chance. The Henderson one aside, which produced a good save from Pickford, I've not seen like a real clear-cut chance. Yeah. Everton should be 2-0 up. I mean, Coleman just had to put it anywhere.
That wasn't clear-cut, was it? That was just a touch of class from Henderson, that strike. So
yeah. I mean, all Coleman had to do was put it to the left or the right. I mean, it was a great save by Alisson, but he just needed to put it more to the left and more to the right, and he was in. It was 2-0. Of all the people to be in the box, you do not want Seamus Coleman. Like, just Rich Alisson, please. Like, where was he?
Oh, I don't like it when they're in the box and we're like flying bodies in, feet going everywhere. I just expect a penalty decision to be given because it's the Merseyside derby.
To be fair, as soon as they get into the box, Everton are quite compact in there. They're not giving them a yard to even get a shot off or anything.
Here. VAR could check this, and you'll see what I mean in a second.
I'm on the same time as you, and I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
So he put the ball in the net, and I think the tackle was a clean one. If the VAR judges that's a clean tackle, the goal will stand.
No, it won't.
I don't know the rules anymore, so
surely not. I'm not having that because the goalkeeper might not have taken a step forward, or he might have tried to pull the save off better or something like that.
It's half time. They've not got
half time anyway. Excellent. It is half time, and it is 1-0 to Everton after a very well worked early goal from Rich Alisson. And I love, can we just say, by the way, we glossed over it before, what a pass that was from James.
Yeah, it was great pass in behind.
That is why we have him in the squad.
Josh, mate, you're the toffee. Let's go over to you straight away. What are your thoughts? Are you pleased? Are you displeased? What are you thinking for the second half?
I am extremely pleased. How could I not be? Early goal. Said that after that we were vulnerable. We were for 10 minutes. We managed to get back into the game. Probably dominated for a good 20, 25 minutes, but they've just, like you said, they've not had a clear-cut chance. So the defence is doing its job properly. Doucouré's running himself ragged, which is what I expected, up and down. We're actually, if you think about it, we've got Allen and Calvert-Lewin to both bring on if we want to. Could that improve our chances of just seeing this over the line, especially with Allen? I know Calvert-Lewin's the goals, but we've got the lead at the moment. So if we just bring Allen on and he has the legs, I reckon we could hold this.
I think if you can get a second, Alan is well worth bringing on. I think if you also get a second, I don't think you'd risk Calvert-Lewin. I don't know what Dale and Lee think about that in terms of subs for the second half.
I think you're going to have to bring him on. I think at some point, Alan will probably replace Gomez in the second half, just to sort of solidify that midfield a little bit more. He's probably got a half worth of legs in him coming back from injury, so I think that's probably the way it'll be. As for Calvert-Lewin, again, it depends how the second half goes. So if Liverpool get back into it, then I reckon they'll bring him on. But I think you'll bring him on anyway. You need a target man to close the game out. So I think you'll see him regardless, Calvert-Lewin. So yeah, it's poised. It's finally poised because Liverpool are always worth an equaliser, aren't they? I think so. Yeah, it's not far from over yet.
What are you thinking, Dale? Subs?
Yeah, I mean, I think Everton have done quite well. Say this first half. Sub wise, you'd probably give it maybe 10, 15 minutes, I think, in the second half. See how that, like Lee said, see how the game's sort of going. Start the second half. Liverpool will just keep trying to, pile on the pressure, try and get this equaliser. Yeah, we'll see how the first 10, 15 minutes goes. My worry would be if they are still sort of 1-0, got the goal lead. If he does bring sort of Alan on and takes off, say, Rodriguez or a Richarlison, does he then risk, sort of going too defensive and inviting even more sort of pressure on? But we'll see. We'll see what Carlo does.
What about Liverpool? Because they've got to do something, haven't they? Obviously, they've had the Henderson injury, which is massively, massively unfortunate for them. Because Henderson, regardless of being a midfielder, has actually been a more than capable defender for them this season. What can Liverpool do? Because they've got the three best attackers on the pitch. And do you know what? Mane, Salah and Firmino have been on since the start, and you wouldn't even think they're playing. And that's crazy to say that, isn't it? So what can Liverpool do to shake things up?
Good question, Cole. The final third, like you say, as soon as they're getting sort of into the box, Everton have been really compacting there, so they're not giving them sort of any space whatsoever. The chances that they have had have come from sort of outside the box. They just seem to be lacking sort of a bit of creativity in a way, which you kind of wouldn't usually associate that with Liverpool over the last couple of years. But it just seems to be lacking that something in the final third. That sort of killer pass. But then I'm sort of looking at the bench, the players that they could possibly bring on. I'm just like, there's not really a sort of player that's there that could possibly do that either. See, it's a tough one.
Yeah, I think that I get what you're saying, really. I think that Liverpool need to move the ball around a bit quicker. They need to sort of get into Everton's half with a bit more purpose. As silly as that sounds and as obvious that sounds, it just doesn't feel like the final pass and the final third is there for them. So, yeah, it'd be an interesting one. I think that obviously they're never out of it, Liverpool. It's Liverpool, and they're at home. But, I mean, on the flip side of it, Everton are playing really well. They're defending well. Pickford's having a decent game. I think that Tom Davies, without Richarlison being the goal scorer, is probably the best player for Everton at the moment. He's doing an incredible job getting across the pitch. He's putting in some brilliantly well-timed tackles for Everton in that midfield. And the battle for this kind of game in a derby, it's always the same. The game's won and lost in midfield. And I think that Liverpool are kind of being subject to the issue of Thiago again. And while many people saying what a signing it was for Liverpool, he slows them down too much. And there are people out there that will say, well, he's not slowing them down. It's the way he plays. Well, fair enough. But at the same time, that's not how Liverpool play. Liverpool play fast attacking, gung-ho football. And he gets the ball and he might pick an amazing pass, or he might put an amazing through ball, or he might do a little run. That's not how Liverpool are playing or need to play. So if anything, I would probably, if Wijnaldum's on the bench and if he's fit, or if Shaqiri even, I would probably take Thiago off and have that more attacking impetus from midfield, because at the minute, Tom Davies and Doucouré are just completely mopping everything up, and Everton aren't having any joy in midfield, and that's probably what is causing them the issues at the moment. So yeah, I don't know if you boys agree with me or if I'm chatting rubbish.
I've got 2 points. The first one is the most important. Oh my goodness! My word! The fans know what they want, and I give it to them. The second point is Thiago. The guy's class. Right? We can't deny it, and he's getting a lot of stick at the moment. I'm going to stick up for him a bit. He's had a bad injury that he's just come back from. Not a bad injury, but your knee's never good when it goes. And incidentally enough, he went in the last Merseyside derby it was the Richarlison tackle, wasn't it? And he come off with a knock at the time, and it ended up being a longer injury than they thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
He's had COVID. He's had a shorter pre-season, and he's just kind of like been thrown into it, and all his expectations on his shoulders. And it's almost as if with all the injuries, the Liverpool fans and the club have just turned around to him and said, they've sat him down on the pitch, they're poking him with a stick and they're saying, come on, do something. And it's just not going to work. It's not going to work like that. You got to think of the way that he has played throughout his career. I mean, Bayern, let's take a look at his last club, Bayern. He's the creative force in the midfield where he sat right next to Kimmich. And I know Liverpool don't have a player like Joshua. Is it Joshua or Joshua? I always butcher the pronunciation.
Kimmich.
Yeah,
Joshua.
Joshua Kimmich. I'll let Lee do it. Lee's our resident German. Lee, say his name for me.
Joshua Kimmich.
Him next to Thiago. And when you've got a player like that who is so defensively minded, who just fucking loves defending, like I just love sitting in that midfield and just being an absolute monster, it's easy for a player like Thiago to just boss the game from then on. Letting the forwards do their thing and just being that creative force in midfield where he links everything from defence to attack. In this Liverpool side, he's almost being asked at times to be a 6, and then at other times he's asked to be, the attacking midfielder behind the front three, like where it's just that. I just don't think that's Thiago's game. I don't think they've actually used him for what he's best at this point. I don't know if Josh agrees with this. Like we've had quite strong opinions about Thiago, one way or another. I think he's a top class player. I think Liverpool have signed an absolutely just world class midfielder. Yeah. But you've got to use him right. You've got to use him right. Otherwise, he's wasted.
I didn't think that Liverpool had the pulling power to bring somebody of his class over to them. And I don't want Liverpool fans to take any disrespect to that, but I just thought that Bayern Munich would be able to keep him there. When you're at Bayern Munich, as good as they are, who else compares to them other than the likes of Real Madrid, who he was never going to go to because he's ex-Barca?
Yeah.
I didn't think that maybe Man City at a push. No, maybe not even Man City. Maybe Man United might have been able to pull him. I know, but Liverpool had been linked with him in the past, so I sort of know that there might have been some interest in there in negotiations, verbal agreements, what have you. But I just didn't think that they would get the man, and they've got him. And although he's not started the way that they would have liked, and I agree, they're not playing him in the same position that he would like to be played in, he's a good enough footballer to adapt. He's done it in his career already. So yeah. I think, maybe if he gets a full season under his belt, we might start to see like a fantastic world-class Thiago Alcantara. But write the season off. The season's a write-off for everybody now, other than City. So,
yeah. Speaking of City, resident City fan Connor Elliott. Well, hey boys, good to see that Everton are 1-0 up. Fantastic. Love your support for the Sockies, mate. Connor's been asking to get on there at some point. Connor, I will sort it out. Don't worry, we've not forgotten about you. It's just saying to the lads and Josh, like I know you disappeared for a beer and stuff, but Everton, the subs kind of seem simple. Like, if it gets a bit rough in the second half, maybe Liverpool pull a goal back, then you've got someone like Calvert-Lewin to bring on. If you get a second and you're looking to just shore things up, you can bring someone like Alan on. Is there anything Liverpool can do to shape things up in the second half? Because it's mad to say it, and I said it before, but Salah, Mane and Firmino, Liverpool's best front three, are on the pitch. Would you even know it?
No. Well, I was going to say, and we've slated Firmino a lot in the past, but I would say that they need to get him more involved in this game, because he's not the striker, he's the talisman that the two wing forwards need. So Salah and Mane play off him. So if they can get the ball to him, then he can thread the two danger men in. But if they keep him out of the game, or we keep him out of the game, which we've done in the first half, then I just do not see any goal coming from them unless it's individual brilliance from Mane and Salah, which they are more than capable of. But, how often do you really get a chance?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Salah, we've said it lots of times actually on the podcast over the last few weeks. It's crazy to think that Salah is the top scorer in the Premier League still. I think as it stands, he's still the top scorer in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And Mane, he's been bagging as well. It just shows how good they are. But I started to go on, and we got distracted with what was going on in the game. I started to go on a little bit about confidence before. Even for world-class players like Mane and Salah, is confidence still that big of a deal?
I think confidence has been one of the main deals for Liverpool this season. So, obviously, you can talk about their front three, but let's just have a look at Robertson and Trent Arnold and what losing Van Dijk in that back four did for their confidence. We've not really seen... I'll look at Trent, first of all. We've not really seen anywhere near the same player in Trent since he's not been able to rely on two solid centre-halves to sort of allow him to make those runs forward. I said it on the podcast. I thought we were starting to see a resurgence from him up until they played Man City, and today has been solid enough, but we're not seeing. We were used to seeing him week in, week out, putting in world-class performances. Like we were seeing him scoring from free kicks. We were seeing him whip balls in, at least 5 or 6 decent balls in that were leading to half chances or goals every week last year. And this year, he's just defending. We're not really seeing him darting forward anymore, and that was where he was most effective. He's a more effective wing back than he is a right back, like a right full back. So, I think that all comes from confidence as well. I think that plays a big part. Losing Van Dijk, Robertson as well. He's, if you centre halves at Henderson, for example, who's not a centre half, or somebody who's not a regular name on the team sheet, then you're not going to have confidence there. When I was a footballer, amateur level, if my goalkeeper was shit and I had no confidence in him, then it didn't, I wasn't going into the game thinking, oh yeah, we're going to batter somebody today. I was thinking, how many clangers is he going to cause today? And it's the same if you've not got a centre half there. And centre halves are quite often captains or leaders in the team. I'm sure Van Dijk is. If you've not got that leader at the back shouting at you, talking you through the game,
it's difficult.
Yeah, I've gone off on a bit of a rant there, but
no, listen, spot on, absolutely spot on. And I think you've touched on something very interesting there, which is I think Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold are feeling the squeeze a little bit because they've got to be better defensively now because they're missing their best defender.
Yeah. And they've not, because they can't rely on two solid centre halves to allow their wing backs to run forward. It's less chances for the top three, who are all world class in their own right. Apart from Firmino, he's an odd one really because he's got his own individual position as defensive forward, hasn't he? But Mane and Salah specifically, if they've not got the runs of Robertson and Trent Arnold like they had last year and the year before, when they had an unbelievable season that didn't win them the title just because City had an even better one, slightly. If you've not got that, then you're just not going to have as many chances, and chances lead to goals. And that's why the goals have all sort of like soaked up for Liverpool this season.
We are underway now in the second half. We are on 47, 05, 06, 07. I don't know what you lads are looking like.
Mine, I used the screenshot app so I could put something on Twitter and it stopped my player because it thinks it's screen recording software. But I'm back now. We're back on. Fuck off, Sky. I'm not trying to steal your content. I'm just posting something on Twitter, for fuck's sake.
Lee's going to have the FBI knocking on his door in like 5 minutes' time. Are you stealing the soccer there, sir?
That sounded Canadian, that lad.
Hey. Oh, my goodness. Right, well...
I didn't see if they made any subs or anything.
It looks like Wijnaldum's come on.
Is it right?
It looks like, I don't think Wijnaldum was on.
No, he was.
Oh, he was.
Wijnaldum was on first half.
Yeah.
Well, that's shocking. I've not seen him. Where's he been?
He's not been playing well, that's for sure.
I think he had an effort in the first half, and that was the only thing I saw of him. But he
Right,
definitely
lad.
came on the screen once.
Quick opinion from you all. Is it, first of all, the Camden Pale Ale, or the Freedom Pale Ale, or the Vocation Pale Ale?
Third one.
The third one, Vocation, is a nice one. This one,
Yeah,
do
I like the Vocations, and
Ready
plus
for
the can look nice.
Yeah, Vocation indeed. Oh, stop that shit right now.
Sit back,
Danny!
crack open a cold one.
I just love cracking cans with the boys.
I can't wait until we can actually do it legally. Like, I'm not saying we've done it illegally. What I'm saying is we've not been able to do it at all. So, yeah, that'd be nice. Camping V2.
Danny.
Dave Watts, Vocation.
Danny says Liverpool lost 7-2 with Van Dijk. Didn't look amazing before that. Let's not give them a free pass. They, in particular, Trent, haven't been great this season at all. He's not wrong.
I'm not giving Trent a free pass at all. I'm just saying last year and the year before he was fantastic. And this year, I agree, he has been dog. I will not give them a free pass. I will never give them a free pass.
Hasn't he given the ball away the most times out of anyone this season or something?
Yeah, he broke his own record, didn't he, the other day?
Wow.
He broke the record, and then he broke his own record, and then he broke his own record again. So he's not been great.
And I still had him in my England team.
Can I just say as well, boys? I just want to put a special mention forward for Ben Godfrey. He has got to be up there for one of the signings of the season of all teams. I really rate that cat. He's going to make England. He's got to make that England first team in the future if he carries on this trajectory, because he's just getting better and better.
He's been very good.
In what position? In what position? Because I think he's been played right across the back four at some point, through the season, hasn't he?
Yeah.
What is his natural, or what is his best position?
His natural and probably best position centre half. So I'd put him next to Stones if Stones continues playing brilliantly. Oh, that should have been a goal. Dreadful defending. Didn't have a clue where Marnie was then.
Twice.
But yeah, he actually did unbelievably well at left back when Luca Dean was not there. But I think in this day and age, we've talked about quite a lot of players playing out of position, or they're not being played in their natural position and things like that. If you're getting paid $100,000 a week, you should have at least 4 natural positions, in my opinion. James Milner, for example, what a professional he's been. Yeah. Whenever Klopp has needed somebody to fill a void, Milner is the man. Milner is a fantastic example of somebody that can just fit in and play wherever. And I think it's shocking that there are not more players like him.
Right.
Jordan Henderson playing at centre half is another example. He is not. Yeah, Fabian Delph. Sorry, he's not good enough for us.
Not anymore.
No.
Back in his day.
Hang on. I got the impression that Josh was glossing over then. Let's get into it, mate. Why is Delph not good enough for Everton? Please do tell.
He never was good enough for us, in my opinion. No. He wasn't good enough for City. I don't know how he got in there either. His best days were at Leeds when he was a kid. No, I've never rated Delph personally. It might be another example like Jordan Henderson, though. Where you just don't really see somebody's true talent unless it's put on a plate in front of you.
Oh, what a tackle that is!
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
was it Keane?
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh.
No. I'm just trying to think of other players. Like Gareth Barry was another one. Phil Neville. Players that are versatile and can play in many positions. There needs to be more of them these days.
Hey, sorry to interrupt you. Just in the replay of that tackle, watch the fella behind the goal. If you can see it.
Is there somebody behind the goal?
There is a Liverpool. There's a fella with scruffy hair.
Fuming.
You see him?
Yeah.
What's he doing there?
That is an unbelievable tackle. I think he's a steward.
It's an unreal tackle. That.
It is. What's going on outside?
Is that fella at his shed again?
No, some fella. Oh, it's a takeaway delivery for a house around there, and he's just got his music blaring.
They've
That's
started
what
on.
I'm to be honest.
They've started on the front foot here, haven't they?
Yeah.
Is he blasting the Just Eat song out of his car? That's a banger, that, right? I'm sorry, but does anyone else know the full words to the Snoop Dogg fucking advert? I fucking love that advert, mate.
What, the Snoop Dogg one?
Oh, mate, it's fucking class. Get delivery like a G. See?
I always wonder how much they've had to pay him to do that.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same because he's either falling from grace, which I don't think he has because I think he's a multi-millionaire. Yeah, he does
honestly everything. There was a thread an American posted on Twitter of all the things that he's done. Like he appears on like TV shows. He appears on fucking everything.
Who's seen that there from Watts?
Videos. Dave Watts.
Get delivery like a G, Lee.
Someone get delivery on the phone now. Hello, can we get sponsorship, please?
I on the note that you were saying before, to go back to the football, Josh, about versatile players, I 100% agree. I've seen John O'Shea covering net and save a shot. Come out and save a shot. If you listen, if John O'Shea can do that, I'm going to need you to play 3 or 4 positions.
Yeah, Kyle Walker did it for City as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not asking much. Right? Kyle Walker is shown playing for England that he's a decent centre back.
Yeah, his pace was a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, Luke Shaw last season. Luke Shaw had some really good games for us in a back 3.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that left of the back 3.
Yeah,
letting us play Brandon Williams outside him.
Brandon Williams has got to be playing more games at right back for me, but
he is a right back though. That's the thing, and we need competition for Wan-Bissaka. But anyway, it's Liverpool, Everton, not United.
Yeah, we're not.
We've done so well not to talk about United this far.
I've just noted that they had 3 defenders as their last men then, and they were all on the halfway line. Yeah. So that just shows how much they're pushing against us at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say they do look like they're getting a bit deep, Everton, at the minute. But I mean, I'd say that. I mean, the defensive line's sort of edge of the penalty area, but the midfield is only about 2 yards in front of them. Yeah, you know, the midfield needs to sort of try and push up a bit more.
I was about to slate Mane because I thought he dived and he just slipped. But he looked like the worst dive in the world. But what I was actually going to say was, did anyone see Klopp's reaction after that Firmino shot?
Just seen it.
He is fucking fuming, mate.
What point do we see Alan come on?
65.
Another 9 minutes.
Who does he come on for? That's the question. I mean, Tom Davis has played well. Gomez he's put a bit of a shift in. But
yeah.
It might be worth leaving Gomez on until 70 minutes and then just bring him off for some fresh legs. But how fresh are Alan's legs? That's that's the question. You know, he's just come back from injury. The word was that DCL was actually fit enough to play against City, but he rested him for the derby. So he's probably the fitter of the players. But how many chances is he going to get?
This is it. He'll come on, like I was saying at half time. You'll need someone either to get yourselves a winner because you've gone 1-1, or as a target man to keep hoofing the ball up to defend the 1-0. So that's what
you see that start then with the possession.
Yeah,
83-17 in Liverpool's favour. This is a lot of pressure they're putting on it, and the possession is sort of in the danger area as well. The sort of the final third here at the minute.
Yeah, what's he gone over for there?
But
that's a bit theatrical.
Do you know what though? Liverpool just don't look like they're going to score.
They've got a lot of men to get past, though, haven't they? It's like 2 walls, two lines. You've got your midfield and your defenders all cramped together.
What the fuck is Kabak doing? Send him back to Germany, man. He is fucking shitey. Honestly, I've changed my mind. I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt before because he's only young and he's had a few games. What the fuck is he doing?
I'm all for it, mate.
I don't know if he's
Oh no, what has he done?
He just made some bizarre choices as the last line of defence in front of the keeper. You can't be pissing and arsing around.
Oh, Sigurdsson coming on. Interesting.
Yeah, I thought they might bring him on. But he's soft and lightweight, and I worry about that.
I don't understand what for. Like
Gomez.
Hey, I'll tick up the Sigurdsson. He had a shite start to the season again, but as the season's gone on, he seems to have got better and better and better.
You know what, right? He had a really good pre-season for us. Granted, we were only playing League One, League Two sides, but he was the standout player for me pre-season. And then he started the season really badly, like you said. And now he's steadied his performance, and he's actually doing a good job for us. It could be the Carlo effect. Maybe he's just been absolutely beasting him in training and getting him to play better. That's what a manager should do, and his staff.
That assist, listen, Sigurdsson's worth his wages this month alone for that assist against Spurs in the Cup. That assist for the Bernard goal. Oh my God. If that was Messi or Ronaldo that did that, it'd be all over the place. People would be retweeting it. It'd be all over the media, BT Sports, Sky Sports and everything. Not heard anything about it just because it's Sigurdsson.
And Bernard.
To be fair.
Bernard, bloody hell.
That is not it's not an exotic Brazilian name, is it? Just like Alan. Fred, Alan, Bernard.
I know, I love the way they try and change the names. It's like, it's actually Bernard and Alan. No, it's fucking Bernard and Alan. Like,
I'm surprised that they've not called them sort of Alaninho or Bernardinho. Because all the smaller players have got that on the end, haven't they? Because doesn't it mean like Little Alan or Little Ronald or something like that?
Could you imagine if there was no such thing as Eno ever? So it was just like Ronaldinho would just be Ronald.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's so funny.
Juninho would just be Jun.
Junin. I fucking love it.
What does Eno mean?
Fernand.
Here he is, Calvert-Lewin. 60 minutes, getting warmed up.
Lee, did you say what does Eno mean?
Yeah.
Well, isn't Nino like little? So
only without a H in Spanish, but it's Portuguese, isn't it?
I'm looking at it now and trying to Google it, see what it means.
So I've just been reliably informed by Sarah that Nino means child.
Oh.
So does it mean Ronald's child?
It must do. So in Scandinavia, they have that naming convention. So if your surname's like, I don't know, Sigurdsson, for example,
son of Sigurd.
Sigurd's son, and everyone has that as their surname. So for me, for example, my surname wouldn't be Noble; it would be Lee Simonson. So that's how it works in Norway, anyway. I think, anyway, in Denmark.
Yeah, it's the same in Iceland as well, because there's loads of Icelandic CrossFitters that have the same.
Yeah,
like that. Is it that Thor Bjornsson?
Bjornsson, yeah,
So, son of Bjorn.
And the women have Dottir, so
that's it.
So if it's like, I don't know, if their name is, I don't know, Gylfi, if their dad's name's Gylfi, it would be like Gylfi Dottir would be their surname. It's mad. It's pretty cool actually. Shaqiri coming on.
What do we make of the Calvert-Lewin change there with Rodriguez coming off?
I like it. I like it, you know.
What do you think Carlo's thinking here?
I think he's thinking James, other than the assist, isn't really having an impact on the game now because we're defending too much. So he needs a grafter on the pitch.
He's brought a bit more pace on there with Calvert-Lewin as well. You know, in case for the counter. You know, because Liverpool are pressing. You know, they're quite high at the minute. There's that added bit of pace as well with Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin up top now. Well, it looks like it anyway.
Well, apparently, I've just looked at this Eno thing, and it is a nickname. It does mean little. So, like Robinho, his name is actually Robson.
Robson.
But he calls himself
Ian
Robinho.
Bobby.
God knows. But apparently it's a little thing. So, like Ronaldinho, I think is actually called Ronald. But because someone at some point has called him Little Ronald, it's just always stuck. And now he's just like, oh, I'm Ronaldinho. Aren't I? And he's just like carried it. So it'd just be like me being Little Col or something like that.
Colinho.
Yeah. The things, you know. I actually call myself on Score Match. Shout out to Score Match, but your game is annoying as fuck. I'm actually called Colzinho on there.
Oh.
I mean, the best one would be Lee, because Lee would just be Lino.
Oh, you know what? Right, I've just seen the I've just seen that message come up as well. 2 up top, nice one.
He's 2 up top.
We're starting to have the ball in their box a bit more now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Fingers crossed for a 2-0.
Yeah. It's getting a bit more even. Again, like I said before, if you're following us, go and follow 2 Up Top Football. They are absolutely class. I will be on their post-evening fixtures podcast tomorrow, having a look at the Premier League games, if they'll still have me. So shout out to those guys. Come and watch us tomorrow night. That'll be a lot of fun.
They might not have you if they hear Dale's comments about Arsenal.
Yeah, if Dan's watching, Dale reliably informed us before that both Spurs and Arsenal are shit.
Mark Crogan, I did want to bring that one up. What a tackle, Godfrey says, and it was a absolute slicer. He went through him, but he got the ball.
Oh, that is a beauty. That is a beauty.
Proper tackle.
He got the ball right up in their half, which is brilliant.
I didn't know you were from Australia, Lee. That was a proper fucking slice of that, mate.
I've been watching too much Married at First Sight Australia.
Yes, someone else watches it. What a program!
Only because of Nicole. It's not. I don't watch it through choice.
What's this that you've been watching?
Oh, trust me, have a go on it. It's on Channel 4, is it? I can't believe Sarah's not on it.
What's it called?
Married at First Sight Australia.
Oh, yeah. She's probably done it and completed it, mate.
Yeah. No, it's been released every week, isn't it, Carl?
Yeah, every day at the moment. I think it gets released. Right.
I'm gonna find out what we've been watching recently that's along those lines.
I tell you what, Trent has just put an absolute peach of a ball in the penalty box there.
Yeah. Right, yeah. I've got it, boys. Are You the One on Netflix? Have you been watching that?
No.
Oh, it's American. Get on that. Tell your missus. Are You the One? Get on
no,
that.
I'm happy for Married at First Sight Australia to finish, so I don't have to watch it.
Wait there.
Josh, if there's one piece of advice I can give you and Sarah, Married at First Sight Australia. Stop. Don't avoid it any longer.
I'm going to find out if we've had it on yet.
And 2 Stop Football, I need a Davis and Thiago yellow. If I don't get them, you can't. Come on, Chris. I mean, Thiago's definitely going to happen because he's going to fucking hack someone.
Oh, that's a good one. Mane's absolutely fuming at the yellow card he's just got there, and he's like scowling at the referee. And I think it's
send him off.
The defender laughed at him in the background. You can watch it. I think Holgate laughed at him as he's walking past him.
Oh yeah, Holgate's definitely one of those players.
When it comes up on yours, it's a good moment. That
send him off.
Send the bloody dirty get off.
He's giving him a yellow card. I can't break. You ballers get Campbell. You dickhead.
By the way, boys, we've seen what was it that you were watching?
Married at First Sight.
Married at First Sight America, but not Australia. So that's in the pipeline.
Australia. Yeah, you'll. Honestly, Nicole is obsessed with it, so Sarah will love it.
For anybody that wanted to come and watch football-related podcasts today,
hey, some of us have got missuses, and this is what happens.
And a lot of people online don't.
For anyone who wanted to come for some insightful analysis into the Liverpool and Everton game, tough shit. I want to talk about Tamara and Dan.
One thing I must say though, Collins, is that fair few people who are watching this probably do not know who that signed photo is above your head.
They should do. If they don't,
you can't quite see it. I don't think on mobile and stuff you can't quite see it.
Don't worry about that. I'll take it off the wall.
Right,
this is my signed photo of Ainsley Harriott.
What does it say on it, Collins?
Do you know what? I genuinely don't have a fucking clue because I can't read it. I'm right. It's something like
Succulent sizzles, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something like succulent sizzlers forever, I think it says.
Who asked him to write that?
He writes down all of them, mate. I've got one. It says succulent sizzles on it.
Yeah.
But Collins, you met Ainsley Harriott.
I met him at a wedding. I don't want to say whose wedding it is, just out of not name dropping people, but he is, you know, like they say, don't meet your heroes. meet Ainsley. You've got to meet Ainsley. It'll change your opinion on it. I even tried to go in for a cool save. That is a great save, that by Pickford.
What did you say? You went in for a what?
I went in for a kiss. No, I went in for a normal picture with him. Like, oh yeah, we'll just like thumbs up and stuff. And he turned around to me and went, "No, we've got to get a proper picture. Come on." And he went,
"Yeah."
I'm so jealous that you met Ainsley Harriott. I'd love to meet Ainsley Harriott.
Great I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do.
I'd be like,
I didn't know what to say to him. I just said to him, like, Ainsley, I literally love you. You're my hero. I said, I've watched you for years on TV. Like, can I get a picture? And he was like, yeah, of course I can. Yeah. Love him.
His wife was a bit unhappy though, wasn't she?
Well, yeah, because can you imagine? He's gone to a wedding. He just wants to chill and have a good time. His wife's in the background, and I'm just mugging her off by saying, "I'm going to take your fella for 20 minutes. See you later, love."
Anyway, she's. You know what though? In case Ainsley ever sees any of these videos, we love your wife.
Oh no, I get it. I get why she was pissed off at me. She was like, "Who's this fucking idiot who's just come and stolen my husband for 20 minutes?" I do get it. And I was a proper fanboying. Do you know who I'm not fanboying over right now? Salah and Mane, because they're just doing absolutely nothing here. And Salah dived again. Just poor, really poor, really, really poor. Mane in particular, I think Mane's been very, very wasteful with his chances tonight.
Get up, you diving bastard. There's no need for it. Like
neutral coverage, share up for him, too.
Oh God, Salah is so fast as a footballer, and he's got so much pace. Luka Dean was nowhere near him then when he burst forward.
That's the frustrating thing. Salah is so good at football. There is no need for the theatrics whatsoever.
No, exactly. This is what annoys me about watching like PSG.
Neymar.
Yeah. There's so many amazing footballers in those teams that they don't need to throw themselves around and roll all over the place as if they've been shot. Like I hate bringing up the comparison because it is a bad comparison. But when you watch rugby players going off for a blood substitution and they go and get stitched up and then they can come back on the pitch.
Oh, what are you doing?
You've got players like Neymar, etc., that just roll around when they've had a breath of fresh air on them. It's just not. It doesn't sit right with me, especially being a rugby player. Like
Neymar's had a breath of fresh air on him. I didn't know PSG played Leeds recently. I do completely agree with you though. Like I know Josh and Danny. I think you two are more sort of behind the diving thing, aren't you? Like saying it's a part of the game and stuff at the moment. It takes a lot to be good at it and stuff. I can't get behind it. I can't.
I'm going to say Camden Pale Ale.
Camden.
Yeah, Camden. Yeah.
It's nice, this one. I do like this one.
Yeah.
Just classic.
You know what, right? If I were to... That was lovely. If I'm to compare it to anybody, Richarlison, for us, is the ultimate wind-up. He's a world-class footballer, but by Christ does he wind defenders up. And I'm all for it. I think that every squad should have at least one player that's an ultimate wind-up. And for us, it's him. And he's diving all over the show, and I know commentators have slagged him off for it. Let them slag him off. He's doing the trick. He scored the goal that's put us 1-0 up tonight. He doesn't score enough for me, but you know what? He runs his bollocks off, and that's... What more can I ask for? A couple of goals more from him, and he runs his bollocks off, and he's the perfect player for me, winding defenders up. Neymar's the same, world-class player, absolutely world-class player, winding defenders up. Needs to score more. But he's got Mbappe up there, and we've got Calvert-Lewin. Go on, DCL.
Did you just compare Mbappe and Dominic Calvert-Lewin?
I did.
I mean, he's good.
DCL.
Well, you know what? You know what, right? DCL's better because he scored a World Cup final goal. It didn't matter if it wasn't the adult World Cup. He scored an under-20s World Cup final goal, and therefore DCL is better.
Just going back to your comments there, Josh, on Richarlison and scoring more goals. I mean, he's 3 goals he's got in the league this season.
Yep.
The last 2 seasons he's got 13.
Yep. I think he's probably his own worst enemy there because he's set the bar, hasn't he? Yeah. But we've got the difference is we've got Calvert-Lewin now.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that because obviously Calvert-Lewin has now sort of stepped up as well as Richarlison? Sort of, has he been playing sort of maybe out of position slightly, or has he just not been getting that advanced forward as because Calvert-Lewin's sort of been the main focal sort of striker up top?
Yeah, and rightfully so. Calvert-Lewin's the top man up there now. It's like Kane, for example. I know that Son is unbelievable this year and has bagged a ridiculous amount of goals, but their partnership is something else. Not many teams have got that with a winger and a striker. I'm just happy for Richarlison to take the step back, let Calvert-Lewin be the sole focus up top, and just run his bollocks off, and try and set them up on a plate for Calvert-Lewin. I'm happy for that because Calvert-Lewin this year, his return is like 15, 16 goals. We've still got plenty of the season left. He could ultimately get to 25 goals for the season, and I think that for anybody is a fantastic, in all competitions, is an unbelievable return.
He's had a great season, DCL. Yeah. What about what Danny's put there about diving? Isn't it? I get why players hit the deck now. Refs aren't wising up to it. I don't give anything if you stay up. So if you have to go down, unfortunately, refs need to be better.
I can see where he's coming from, but you've got to prove to yourself and of the sport that you're playing in. Like if you know what you're doing is not right, then you should have it on your own conscience to not do that, if that makes sense. Like, if I'm playing a game of rugby, for example, and if I see a pass go in front of me from the opposition, and if I can somehow, I don't know, stop that pass, like a deliberate knock on, you would call it, I wouldn't do it because I'd rather than just get past me than do something that I'm not supposed to do because it's in the spirit and of the nature of the game. Like, if the refs aren't giving things, then that's just unfortunate. But it doesn't mean that you have to cheat in order to try and bring that advantage back round to yourself. Because I just don't think that that's in the spirit of the game. And if you were to let that sort of thing happen and continue, then where does it stop? Like where Thierry Henry keeping the ball in with his hand, like he regrets that to this day, and he said he does. It got him through in the end against Ireland at that moment, but it doesn't mean that he's proud of what he did. And no matter what happens in your career as a sports person, you should be doing what you think is right, to be right on your conscience as an athlete. And if it means having to throw yourself over in the box to get a bit of an advantage where you may believe that you should have that advantage because the ref wouldn't give it otherwise, that's out of the question. Like, fair enough, the ref might not give it, but you shouldn't have to resort to cheating in that way, I think. So that's my opinion on it anyway. I don't know whether that's because of years of playing rugby, and rugby maybe is more of an ethically sound sport. Might annoy some people by saying that, but we sit in the bar after a game with the opposition. Crowds are mixed fans, so I think it's a fair point to make. So whether that's just me, I don't know, but yeah, Dan's right. He's just said it's a results business, in my opinion. Honesty and being a good person doesn't get you 3 points and titles, unfortunately. But that also depends. Would you rather be a good person or not? I don't know. Why should you have to resort to cheating? Just score goals. Like, I don't know. What do you boys think?
It is. It's one of those ones where usually I would be ethically as best as I possibly can, as squeaky clean as I possibly can if it was me. But as a fan, if Everton have got the chance to win the FA Cup final or the Champions League final, and by going down and diving gets us a penalty to give us a slightly unfair advantage, then I'd actively encourage it. So I would be ethically, I would do what's right, but I wouldn't expect what's right from the people that I support. I don't know how I can put it other than that.
Well, it's one of them where it's like, if it's for you, then great. But if it's not for you and someone does it against you, then the only winner is the team who benefit from it. So more people lose out of someone cheating in that way than there are winners. And it's fine. We could all sit here and say that, like, yeah, I want my team to win, even if it means they've had to dive for it. But at the same time, if it was to take a completely unbiased team into it, so say if it's Portsmouth, for example, in an FA Cup final, and they've dived, the only team that's winning out of that situation is Portsmouth and their fans. Every other team that has a stake in that are losing, and there are always more losers in an instance where there is cheating than there are winners, and that's why I think that no matter what happens, no matter what the referee is gonna give or not, diving and cheating, even in for advantage, shouldn't happen. And I don't care if people say, "Well, if everyone does it, it levels the playing field out." It shouldn't have to be leveled out by cheating. It is cheating. You are bending the rules in your favour, and the rules are there to make it an equal playing field as it is. So that's how I feel about it. I just don't agree with doing it. If the referee don't give fouls or whatever, then just deal with it. Oh my God, what has gone on there? That's a penalty. He's given it. Sorry, I know we're behind.
I'm not going to confirm. I'm not going to confirm who that penalty's been given. Josh,
go on, you bastard! Oh, he's fucking tripped him. Oh, he's giving it. Oh my God!
I'm going to give you.
Was a penalty for me. That
I'm going to give you a clue. That penalty was given to. Yes.
And you know what? This is why we brought him on. You know what I said about him grafting? That for me is what it's all about. He did it against you boys as well. To the final whistle, you put your life on the line. And he's done it there. The balls are nowhere near him. But he's
not gone. He's tripped over a player already on the floor. Is that a penalty?
That's an interesting one. That one.
I don't think that's
he slid there to try and block the shot, Ante, originally.
Yeah.
And Calvert-Lewin sort of, as he's took the shot, he's followed through and carried on. And Trent obviously can't get out of the way of that, can he? But
it's. I guess the question I always ask when a penalty matters.
He's taking a look at it now. Isn't he?
If it's somewhere else on the pitch, is it?
Yeah.
He's given it. He's given it.
I don't want you celebrating or giving away what's happening.
You know what I will say? I hardly ever see Everton get penalties. So, firstly, who's taking it, which I've just seen here now, which is interesting.
It will be Sigurdsson.
Yeah.
For me, it will be Sigurdsson.
I've got to try not to react there.
Yeah, don't react.
Yeah, it's Sigurdsson. Okay.
I personally, and I've always felt this, I feel like defenders, your centre half should be your captain. Really, I've always had that opinion. You need to manage that team from the back line. Yeah. I always feel like the striker should be the penalty taker. Lovely. That's just me. But
where are you here, Josh?
He's stepping up to take it. And he's fucking put it in, you bastard! Get in! Oh,
that is a great penalty. That is a great penalty.
It's a fucking outstanding penalty. I know Dale's a bit behind me and Lee. Me and Lee were dying.
I was like,
You know what, boys? I thought he put it wide.
I thought he didn't. I thought he didn't. Hit it hard when he come for his run up. It looked very casual.
It's perfect. It's perfect. It's right in the corner, isn't it? Hey, cheers. Cheers.
He makes no attempt to remove his legs, and he even moves his legs towards DCL. Absolutely, a pen could even be a red. So, yeah, I think he's right. Yeah, in grand scheme of things,
bit biased.
Possibly. There'll be a lot of the red half of Merseyside who'll disagree that he's saying, well, he's not going to move out the way, is he? So,
you know what? I will give you the honest view of that. That was biased. That he was not watching the player. He went to the slide. His back's to him. In my opinion, it's not a penalty, but we've scored it. It's 2-0. Get in.
I've only seen it once when it happened, and I disagree. It looks like he's not even trying to play the ball. And if you're not trying to play the ball in that situation, is that not a red?
I think it's because it was so close to him. Because the ball was so close to him, he gets away with it. I think that's the only saving grace there.
Put your foot through him. Put your foot through him. Oh.
I mean, it begs to question this now. And let's not go too deep into it because we'll have a look after the game. But if this stays the same, I mean, Liverpool are in.
Well, like we were saying earlier, they'll be 9th if the teams below them win their games in hand.
That was some effort from Firmino there.
Yeah,
touch of individual brilliance from him. That I just love it. You know what? I would just absolutely love it. And I'm not going to do a Keegan quote here. If we could just hold 2-0 and get a clean sheet.
Imagine an Everton clean sheet away at Anfield.
And 2-0, not even 1-0, but 2.
No attempt at the ball when he moves his foot up. That's a red. I don't know if I disagree with you there, Danny. I don't. I'm probably in the same camp as you are.
The referees bottled it almost. He didn't want to give a red card in the derby.
Yeah, but so many referees have. I think he should have done if it was a red, but for me it wasn't. I think it was just an honest error. At the very most, it was a penalty. But even for me, I think it's contentious.
But you're not asked.
No, not at all. I just want to put it out there to everybody that watches this that I do not give a shit. We're 2-0 up and cruising. Get in.
Love it.
I mean,
you know what? I wasn't expecting this today. Was not expecting this today. Oh God, I'm going to have a good weekend, mate, and a good week. Well, I can't wait to get back in the office on Monday.
It's just I don't know. I really don't know what's going on with Liverpool because they went away on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday they played Leipzig? It was Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they had not a brilliant performance against Leipzig, but there was mistakes that Leipzig made, and they capitalised on them very, very well. And they've not been great at the back. I know they've lost Henderson.
Isn't this the third Premier League home game in a row that they've lost at home?
Isn't this their third Premier League home game in a row that they've lost at home?
You know what I mean?
Burnley and Brighton.
So
I think it is.
So they lost away at Leicester, but they lost at home to City, lost at home to Brighton. They lost away. Sorry, they won away at West Ham. So yeah, they lost at home to Burnley. So Burnley home. Lost to Burnley at home, lost to Brighton at home, lost to City at home, and now they're losing at Everton at home. 4 home games in a row.
They've not won a home game since Spurs 16th of December.
That is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Considering they went, what did they go, like nearly 3 years, 2.5 years or something like that? Not losing at Anfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
2018 they last lost at home.
you see
Fantastic record, that.
What's Mane doing there? What is Mane doing there? It's a blatant dive. It's blatant diving. Get up.
I mean, he's put his hand on his back, but someone put your hand on your back like that in the street. You're not
in the street.
face planting, are you?
Well, yeah, exactly. Imagine I'm waiting for a bus and someone just pats me on the back and goes, "Excuse me, mate, what's the time?" And I fucking dive like that.
Exactly.
It's just pathetic. And I'm not, for any Liverpool fans who are watching, it's not just Liverpool. I 100% agree.
I agree.
Martial's a bad one.
Martial does it, yeah.
I hate it. There's just no need for it whatsoever.
So Danny's saying this so it doesn't get put up on screen, but I'm going to call it out here. Danny's just said that Liverpool are relegation fodder.
No. No. Like on the podcast, I said that they were still in contention for top 4. I'm starting to think I was wrong now.
Well, like I said, they've got 3 teams that can go above them if they win the games in hand. They could drop to 9th without anything in their hands to stop it from happening.
We've got a game in hand against Villa, which will be could go either way. That one. They've had a fantastic season.
Not that it matters nowadays.
No, well, hopefully it's away for us. I hope it's at Villa Park. I don't know, but hopefully it's at Villa Park because we've been dreadful at Goodison recently.
Oh,
this is interesting, isn't it?
Well, I hope they've not scored because you just both gone. Oh
no.
Nothing like that. No.
Just,
don't you dare say we've scored. Don't you dare say we've scored. You've both gone quiet. You've both gone quiet.
No, you know what? I'm almost in a bit of shell shock. Like I just can't. It's not been hard for Everton today. It's not even been difficult.
The ball's down there, and is that fella at his shed again? Like?
I don't know. Someone's outside talking now. What you just fuck off in your house.
Lee's gonna be the worst person in the world when he's like in his 60s and 70s.
I can't wait.
Who the fuck's that breathing outside my house?
Oh, play the ball.
I can't wait to be a miserable old man. Kid's foot, he comes over the garden. There's a knife through that. Bang. No, get your shooting better.
No, you know what, mate? I used to hate my back neighbour that used to do that to me. My shooting was fabulous, but every so often it went over, knifed.
Yeah, that'll be me. That
the only way that you get better at shooting is by missing every now and again.
Kids come knocking around my door. Can I have my ball back, please? And I'll put the knife in it in front of the face.
My big one. I'm not moody at all, but my big one is people parking outside my house.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about knifing. If I don't know you and I don't know you parking outside my house, I'm going to take a knife to your car. Fuck off.
You know what? For a second then, I didn't think that you meant to the car.
I know.
I thought you were talking about to the person. Oh,
no.
What a tackle.
I'm not that violent. The only people that are allowed to park outside my house on the pavement is people I know and neighbours. If neighbours got someone round or something, that's completely understandable. But if I don't know you, you park outside my house. Who are you? I know I don't own that.
What a save.
It's council owned, and I know there's nothing I can do about it. But still, I'm going to get in a mood about it.
You know what was one of the funny ones with my parents? The neighbour, they would have family over and they would park in front of my mum and dad's house, but there was nobody parked in front of our neighbour's house. So why don't you just park in front of the house who you're visiting?
Winds me up. I don't know why it winds me up. It's like really petty, isn't it? But
it is a bit petty, but when you've not really got much more to be petty about, you just find the little things petty, don't you?
Old as fuck.
I've seen Dinya on the floor about 5 times today. Poor lad's been through the wars.
Do you know what? The first 5 minutes of the game, it did threaten to become a bit tetchy because there was a lot of tackles and stuff flying in. But since then, he's kind of calmed down a bit. I'm just shocked. I'm really, really shocked at how easy this has been for Everton.
Yeah, because we've not really had too many chances, have we? But the ones that we have had, we've capitalised on. Obviously, the penalty aside, the only other real chance that we had was the one that we scored from in 3 minutes.
What are you thinking, Dale? Like, I think me and Lee were in a state of shock a minute ago, and we were worrying Josh. But can you believe how just simple it's been?
The nice screen coming up for you, Josh.
I've just seen it, the one where it says 2-0, 90-odd minutes. I tried taking a screenshot, but Sky wouldn't let me.
You got done by the screenshot device. Yeah.
Somebody will figure out a way. I'll nick it online. That'll be getting sent around the work group.
No, I think. To be honest, I think Everton have fully deserved the win. Liverpool haven't really created anything. Everton have been, fairly solid in and around that sort of penalty box. Defending any sort of Liverpool sort of attack. It's like Josh said, Everton haven't really created much themselves, but when they have, they've took the chances. They've been clinical.
Yeah. Will Liverpool fans come out and say, if there were fans in the stadium, we wouldn't be where we are now?
Thank God the fans weren't in the stadium. That's all I'm saying. Liverpool fans need to be grateful that their fans weren't there today, because you'd have sent home 45,000 very, very disappointed fans.
Yeah, you could say today for the whole season. To be honest,
Yeah.
I mean the downfall it's been since last season's title win.
Yeah.
To where they are sort of now.
There'd have been some very disappointed Norwegians travelling back to Oslo. That's all I'm saying.
I love it.
But it's funny that with Everton at the minute. I mean, the result against Fulham was, I'll be honest, I thought it was a massive shock. I thought I fully expected Everton to win that. And then the midweek game against City, I think he was in the game for a fair bit of time, and then you've kind of just easily brushed aside Liverpool today.
Away, more
away as well.
At Anfield.
I mean, I don't know. Everton, would you say they're sort of a bit hot and cold at the minute? But
I always had it on me. Where am I turning? Go on, you beauties.
Oh. Gaming VLX has just chimed in with Man United is the best. Yeah, we know.
It's not hard, mate.
How big is my hand when I do that?
You know what? Gaming VLX, can you just give me this moment, please? We've just beaten Liverpool at Anfield, and you're chiming in with United is the best.
You should know, United. You're on a podcast with 4 United fans. You should know we're going to make this about ourselves.
They go full time. It's done.
I am absolutely buzzing with that.
Big dunk straight on the pitch.
Oh, I was half expecting him to run on, honestly, celebrating more than the players. That is a result. That is a result. I'm surprised my dad's not rang me yet, cheering down the phone.
Oh, get him to ring you and put it on loudspeaker.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Look, God, poor Coleman nearly got strangled to death by Big Dunk then.
Get Big Tone on the phone and get him on loudspeaker.
You know what? What I'll do, I'll just ring him and put him on loudspeaker now and see what he says. Here we go. He won't have a clue.
Yeah, Josh, have you seen that? Gary Wakefield.
Mid-table clash, man. Fuck off, Wacker.
Hey, nice to see you, Gary.
Wait there.
Joining.
I'll just give me dad a call. Wait there.
Gary Wacker Wakefield.
Oh, he's on the phone to someone. He's on the phone to someone. Cheering. You know what? You know what?
He's called Alan. He's called his brother.
He's called Alan. He's called me Uncle Alan to gloat.
If he's not on the phone to his only son, who the fuck's he calling?
Alan's a Liverpool fan, so he's on the phone to him.
Yeah, he's rubbing it in, isn't he? He's gloating to me Uncle Alan. Brilliant stuff.
Text him and tell him to sort his life out and get on the podcast.
I fucking will do. Shithousery that is, though, innit? Calling your brother to wind him up because you're gonna. Well, my dad works with his brother, so he's gonna be rubbing him up next. Oh, wrong thing to say there. Winding him up next week.
We're still a PG podcast.
Yeah, sorry about that, people who are watching. I've had a few cans. I've had a few cans, and I've said something that I regret.
Do you know what? Right,
Wi-Fi's gone. He said.
Dale's Wi-Fi's gone. Shock. I am shocked.
Right then, post-match analysis sponsored by.
Oh my god, that is just wonderful.
Sublime.
I was going to say on the beers, I don't drink that much anymore because in lockdown I killed myself. But I had a choice between Elvis juice and Jaipur. I'm so happy I got a Jaipur. If I had an Elvis juice, I'd be hammered by now.
I've got a lot more cans to go out of that crate that I got delivered today.
Let's get into it. What are we saying? Like, we know, Josh, we already know you're absolutely buzzing with the result. 2-0 away at Anfield. Not been done in a long... I can't remember the last time Everton won at Anfield. But let's talk about the...
I just want to say shout out to Jack Best who sent me that. I think he's watching, and what an absolute lad he is for sending me that. That's coming on social.
What are you... I'm more curious to know what you're thinking in terms of what does this mean for Everton's season?
I'm hoping that gives us a massive boost of confidence now. If we can beat our rivals away when we've not done so for such a long period of time, why can't we beat anybody? We held, arguably, that already that's who's going to win the title for 45 minutes the other day. Oh, here we go. Your dad's phone's been off for the last hour. Probably didn't want to know the result.
Well,
Thanks for that, Titch.
Ring him. Give him a ring.
Don't worry.
Titch, thanks for tuning in.
Don't worry. I'll get me mum. put Dad on the phone.
Well, actually, we'll wait on the Liverpool analysis and see if Josh can get his mum on the phone for this, because this will be absolutely belting this.
Hiya, Mum. Is Dad there? Do you mind just putting him on the phone so I can get him on speaker?
Oh my god, my life's going to be complete if he just comes out with something classic on loudspeaker.
He will. You know that he will.
This has got A up me hood.
Hello? No, don't worry. For some reason, it's gone dead, so I'm going to ring again. I'm not giving up on that.
Let's have a look at Liverpool, Lee, while Josh is trying to get him on the phone. He can cut into us if he manages to get his dad on the phone. What does this mean for Liverpool season? Obviously, the title's gone, but top four has got to be the goal. And if they miss out on top four, it's going to be absolutely calamitous.
I mean, you kind of feel like the season's not done yet. Oh, here we go.
All right, go and put him on. Wait there. Just bear with me, Dad. Just bear with me. Right. I've got you on speaker.
Yeah.
Do you know the result?
No, I don't. I've taped it and watching it tonight.
Oh, okay. I won't talk to you then. I'll speak to you later.
Well, if you've rung me up, we've won.
I'm not saying anything.
Tell me, that we won.
I honestly cannot confirm nor deny.
No, just tell me now. Just tell me if we won or not.
We just fucking beat them 2-0.
Yeah! Do you know what? Oh my god! Go on, have a look at that bit of paper I put in there. I just put a bit of paper in there. I had a dream last night that we won 2-0.
No, you didn't.
I honestly swear on my life.
Honestly, just go watch that game. We've just beaten them 2-0.
I had a dream last night that we won 2-0 and I put the score on a bit of paper there, and your mum's going to tell you. I had a dream last night. I can't believe it. I had a dream last night we won 2-0. and it was Liverpool 0, Everton 2. And honestly, we beat them 2-0.
Beat him 2-0, yeah. No lie.
Wow, I had a dream last night. I brought it down and
Dad.
left it to your mum.
Hey, Dad, what do you think of that? What do you think?
That's fucking brilliant. I'm fucking buzzing.
Richarlison got the first one. You won't have to wait long for that. I won't tell you when it is, but you won't have to wait long. And then we got a penalty.
Who scored that?
Sigurdsson.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Quality, innit?
I put it down on a bit of paper. Your mum was just read it to you.
What's the Dad? What's the lottery numbers for this week? Right, I'll leave you to watch that then, because I'm on the podcast and you've just been recorded on the podcast.
Oh, go on, stop with that.
Right, see you later. Love you. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Oh, get that clip. Get it up.
Oh, I'm fucking crying, mate.
I can't believe he'd not watched it. He'd recorded it to watch it later. Unbelievable stuff.
When he said for the fourth time, he was like, Josh, honestly, I had a dream. I was like, fucking hell, so did you fucking dream last night or what, mate?
Hey, I predicted 2-0 and it was Liverpool 0, Everton 2. What a lad. He's going to be buzzing now. He's going to want to watch that now.
Yeah. So before the game, we had our predictions.
Yeah, we had our predictions, didn't we? Me and you were closely. We weren't too far off.
2-1.
2-1.
Didn't I predict 2-1, Everton?
Tell you what, I did predict on the old predictions. I said Liverpool 3-1 when I was doing the predictions. So I'm fucking wrong with that, but I don't give a fuck.
On the pre-match prediction, I think I definitely said 2-1, but on the weekly prediction, I'm sure I said 2-1 as well. I was always confident that we'd do them today. Good tune.
Well, listen. We're buzzing with Everton, and I really do think. I think you're right, Josh. I think this is a result that could be a springboard for Everton to really push on and at least try and consolidate the top six. I think Everton are there now. I do think with the results. Results obviously have been disappointing over the past couple of weeks, but with the fixtures that you've got now, I do think that's pretty much set in stone. Liverpool, what's happening? I mean, I'm really, really, really struggling to see how they can get top four.
Yeah, well, like I was saying to you before the game, if they lose like they did, then there are 3 teams below them with games in hand that would put them above them, and it would drop Liverpool to 9th. And that is one hell of a fall for. I can't think of any team that has had a worse title defence than them. To be 9th potentially by the end of February, that's unheard of. And if you just said this in September, October, again, like I said earlier, you wouldn't have thought it. And fair enough, they've had the problems with injuries, but does that not tell you that they've not got the squad depth to play and rotate? Like, we all said that this would happen eventually in terms of squad depth and rotating players. And now it has happened to them. They've lost all these players through injury. Fair enough. The Van Dijk one was a bit of a horror tackle, but at the same time, if that's one player, like, you can't blame it all on one player. Otherwise, that just says a lot. It says all you need to know about the squad depth. And what's the ambition of the owners that are not spending the money on more defenders and squad depth?
You've got to spend while you're on top. You've got to
They've
spend.
they've had a very good starting 11 for a year, 2 years that's not being affected by injuries, luckily for them. And now the luck's catching up with them.
Look at City. There's the perfect example. City realised that their defence needed investment, so they went and spent 200 million on a defence. Look at them now. They can't be stopped. They've won the league already, and we're in, March.
They've even got a backup defence. Nathan Ake. When was the last time you saw that bastard?
No. How much did they spend on him? 40 million, was it?
Something fucking silly, yeah. Just to put it into perspective, Liverpool could be 9th by the end of this weekend if Lee's calculations are correct, which No offense to you, Lee. I'm going to double check that later. Because
trust me, I know when Liverpool could be dropped down to 9th or not. I know that.
No, you said Nicola Pepe had 107 goal involvements.
That's one occasion. That was one occasion. I was reading the wrong thing.
Just to put it into perspective, 9th in the Premier League last season was Sheffield United. That's where Liverpool have dropped to.
You know what, though? We did not expect Sheffield United to get there.
Nope.
So we were impressed with a 9th place spot by them. We are not impressed by a 9th place spot by Liverpool this year, if that's ultimately where they end up.
For Liverpool to be 9th, if that's the way that the results end up going this weekend, for Liverpool to be 9th, even back in the day when they had Cinema Pongol and Latale in their team, is bad. But on the back of last season and what they did, it just. I don't know what to say. I'm honestly in shock. I thought this would be a competitive game today. I thought Liverpool would be buoyed somewhat from the midweek game against Leipzig. I thought Everton, a couple of bad results, but this is going to be the one that's going to be up for the derby. They've rested a couple of players as well, which we all thought Alan and DCL will be playing today from the start. DCL obviously got on. But to win it like that, and for Liverpool not to even have a clear-cut chance for the full 90 minutes is shocking to me. It's really surprising. I'm very, very, very shocked.
I just want to have a quick chime in here for Harry Livesey, who Lee knows, Zach's mate, predicted 2-0 at the start of the game. Sent me a message which I'd not seen. 2-0. What a fucking shout that is. He must have had a premonition like my dad.
Hey, do you know what? If I know your dad, and I do, he would have put a bet on that after having...
no, he wouldn't. You know what, right? He's a betting man, my dad, but he's not going to bet in favour of a 2-0 Everton win. I'm not having that.
Should have.
He should. You know what? If my dad put his money where his mouth was, in most circumstances, he'd be a very rich man right now. But he doesn't. You never know. I might speak to him later, and he'll tell me that he had that. I'll let you know.
I'll tell you what, lads, as well. I'm just having a look, and we'll make this the last thing that we talk about, because it is a big, not defining point of the game, but it's a big moment in the game. The Trent Alexander-Arnold conceding the penalty. I've just seen the replay again now. Danny's spot on for me. He lifts his leg.
What, he knows that he's coming and he lifts his leg to obstruct him?
He goes in for the slap. So I 100% think Trent is trying to go for the ball initially. I think he knows that he's not going to get there. I think he has a moment of panic. He sees Calvert-Lewin there. The ball's still free and Alisson's not in complete control. And you can see him lift his leg. That should have been a red card for me.
You know what, mate? I don't give a fuck. You know what? Ultimately, I do care, because it could mean that he was ruled out for the next 3 games, presumably, if it's a straight red. And I don't know who Liverpool have got for the next 3 games, but I don't want them winning any of them. So yeah, they need to look at that and fine him and shoot him.
So, as it stands, that's Everton equal on points now with Liverpool, with 1 less game played. And it's going to be an interesting... Will you fuck off? It's going to be an interesting...
My God, to rest.
I thought he was talking about those neighbours again.
I was on the Premier League website, and it popped up with some shit about the football and how the football's been made. I don't care. I just want to see the table. So, Everton's next game, Southampton, at home on the 1st of March. 1st of March?
It's not long.
That's ages away.
No,
is it an international break?
That's a Monday night, that.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, right. Well, how come you've got 9 days till your next game?
Well, yeah, there's always one game on a Monday night, isn't there? So it must be our turn.
Yeah, but Seems like City have got a midweek game. Why can't they be Monday night?
Yeah, but they haven't got a cup game or...
No. That is weird, that.
I mean, our team needs a little bit of a break.
Yeah,
so
I mean, fair enough.
I know there are other teams that
weird.
need a break, but from a bias point of view, I'm glad that we've got 9 days to rest up. Gives DCL and Allen a proper chance to come back and recover.
Yeah. Well, Liverpool's next game is next Sunday against Sheffield away. So yeah, there's a few interesting fixtures. Villa have got 3 games in hand over Liverpool. So if Villa win their 3 games in hand, they'll be on 45 points, which puts them 4th above Chelsea. So I can't quite see that happening because the next game's against Leicester. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Spurs, they've got 2 games in hand now over Liverpool. They are up against West Ham away in their next game. So you'd think that Spurs could probably get a result there. However, West Ham are playing really well at the minute. So you'd think West Ham at home against Spurs, lunchtime kickoff tomorrow. Maybe they'll get a result. It'd be a great game. But we're looking Everton, Villa and Spurs. Like, I don't think Liverpool will drop as far down as 9th. Like, obviously, we're wishful thinking. But Everton, if they win their game in hand, if Villa win 2 of their games in hand out of the 3 that they've got, then they go above them. And Spurs have got 2 games in hand as well, West Ham and someone else, I don't know who. So should be an interesting couple of weeks, and we'll see where we all end up.
You know what? I just want to end on this note as well. We've just fucking beaten Liverpool Anfield. Get the fuck in. I'm going to go and get absolutely bladdered now. Absolutely bladdered.
And as much as we want to stay on and do a live watch along of Fulham and Sheffield United,
oh God.
Folks, for anyone who's tuned in today, it's been an absolute shit show from start to finish, from technical difficulties to Josh
Liverpool
to Josh saying that Trent should be shot for giving away the penalty. It's been glorious from start to finish. We massively appreciate everyone who's tuned in. For everyone who's still here with us, give us a follow on all social media at WeAre4M1T. We are on everything. We are on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, the lot. So please go and follow us, subscribe to us, and help a growing podcast out, basically, because that's what we are. We love doing this. We absolutely love it if one person tunes in. So for all the people who tuned in today, thank you very, very much. And for people who've left comments, we massively appreciate it. I myself will be on 2 Up Top Football tomorrow night to wrap up the Premier League weekend and just review what's been going on. And I will be saying lots of nice stuff about Everton, and probably lots of not very nice stuff about Liverpool based on this performance tonight. No bias aside. So go and catch me tomorrow night at 2 Up Top Football. Go and catch those guys. They are amazing. Their podcast is fantastic. And from myself, good night. Josh and Lee, any sign-off messages?
Up the Toffees.
Up the Toffees.
Everton. Stars so brightly.